What's up, guys? This is Joe Armanox and TJ Del Reno doing our second episode of Geeking Havoc. You can't edit that one out. Just kidding.
No, that was good.
You can. That's maybe not what the song's gonna sound like, but we're gonna work on it, and you're gonna be super stoked to find out what it's actually gonna sound like. I promise you, it's gonna be amazing.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, we're here. We're back again. Somehow he let me keep this microphone and continue to use it and open my mouth to make words after the craziness from the last episode, which I hope you guys have seen. If not, check it out.
Yeah.
TJ's been amazing in letting me sort of blab on about the things I want to talk about, and one of those things. I don't know if you guys know that there's a new season of Black Mirror out.
That's right.
On le Netflix.
Le Netflix.
It is super cool.
Yeah, it was very good.
Different styles this time. I'm not going to talk the way that. But it was only, I believe, only 4 episodes.
I think
season?
so.
Yeah,
4 or 5.
Not long enough for me.
No,
I wanted
more.
more. I always want more.
Yeah.
Charlie Brooker's like a mastermind.
He's great. I was looking up his stuff just to see.
Yeah, what did you find?
What I found was, God, I'm old.
He's back. He's back in 20, guys. We'll be back.
Cut. I have a cramp. Cut.
We did cut. We actually cut. Yeah.
I have a cramp. Cut. All right, cool. Here's what I found out. So, Charlie Brooker, Black Mirror, he started in December 2011. It aired on Channel 4. That's it.
Channel 4.
Yeah, he's British.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
cool.
British, they say.
Yeah, wow. For voiceover artists, we are doing a great job
Great
so
job,
far.
yeah. I can do, one of my favorite things is to go into my agent's office and say, I learned new accents. And then the weird thing is they roll their eyes, which is weird. And I go, but I learned, and I go, hello, governor. And I go, send me on that stuff. And I'm like, good day, mate. I'm like, send me on that stuff.
My therapist used to roll her eyes. My mom said that it was just having to deal with a lot of grief. So maybe your agents are just overwhelmed with how passionate you are.
They're just so shocked. I've never gotten that stuff. We'll see. But I like to go in and give them new voices every time. I'm like, I learned something. They're like, are you taking classes? I go, no, I saw this movie last night with these guys from Boston. So now I think I could do a Boston accent. Pack the Harvard car. And they're just like, oh, they roll their eyes more.
Yeah, no, I don't know why they you haven't fired them yet. Because they definitely shouldn't be rolling their eyes with that performance.
No, it's really good, right? It's really good.
Yeah, never heard that one.
So that was my Black Mirror research.
Okay, cool. Yeah, glad we didn't go off on a tangent. That was your fault, by the way.
That was my fault. It's funny, I was on the train. I thought I was going to press you. I'm like, ooh, let me check out this cool. And I found those 2 fun facts, which was great.
So
yeah. Yes.
With that.
And
just everybody keep in mind, that was TJ's tangent, not mine.
That was mine. That was my side one.
Oh, man. I'm going to remember that. With the Black Mirror stuff, the newest episodes are amazing. Love that. Yeah. But then with the short season, Netflix will do that thing where they shift you back into past seasons just to keep you watching, which is like so considerate.
Oh, that's right. That is why after it ended, it went to another season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember pulling up the old seasons and being like, oh, I've already seen this one, but Striking Vipers is one of my favorite episodes of all time of Black Mirror. Mm-hmm. And it's Anthony Mackie and Kaya, tell me his name. I wrote it in the Google Doc that we have.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I don't want to fuck it up because it's a specific name. I added it to the list.
Let me see.
On there.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I do. Oh, great job. Anthony Mackie and Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
Yeah, if I mess that up, I'd rather be you.
Cool. So we get canceled. Someone's like,
I can't bend either.
Someone's like, oh, her co-host's like, he doesn't know how to say these names right.
But listen, what I want to the geeking part of this, what I want to talk about is the VR experience.
Yes.
It has been so prominent. It is like massively taking over everything. And yet I don't have one in my home yet.
Yes.
And I probably will soon.
Which
I'm
one?
very
Now,
excited about.
That's the thing you're excited about. So which one, if we may, How many have you used? Which one are you going to go for?
That's what I'm saying. You're the person who knows that information.
That's true.
I'm the one who wants to sit and ruminate about it and go, deep thoughts.
What do I do?
Interesting, yeah.
Well, so you could go the route, which I think for someone of your tech stature, I would say, and I say that because you don't have a gaming PC.
Well, I have an Xbox.
You do have an Xbox.
Yeah, but it's not up to date. Don't judge me. I can feel it.
Which is it? Is it the 360 one?
Yes.
Cool.
It has a little globe and
Oh, that's
everything.
good. Yeah, that one's great. So that one, you can't on that one.
Cool.
So here's what you would do. You would have, by the way, the fact that I even slightly talk down about tech to you is insane because I am very dumb with all this stuff, like bad.
No, you're not.
Oh, you'll see. So there's a thing. So you could do 2 rounds of it. So you could do something called the Oculus Rift, which is the one that you should do. And so the Oculus Rift is, and the reason it's good is it's a self-contained VR headset. So you put the headset on and then you put the little like ear, like it has like headphone, like, ear headphone sounds. I can't do this. What is it called? Head speakers? There's like ear speakers, headphone speakers.
What?
I don't know. I'm like breaking down. So you have speakers and you have the 2 things, but everything is contained in the headsets. You could charge it and then you could just play in the headsets. You could take it with you places. You could play it here and you don't need a gaming PC. You don't need a PlayStation 5.
That sounds amazing. What are the
Yes.
downsides?
I think for people like us that just want to play, you won't really see, like, graphically, it might not be as powerful as like if you bought like the Steam. Steam is a company that makes, like, Valve makes a headset and they're like a big company. But like if you had a high-end gaming PC, then you could do the thing where you install like sensors in the room. It's insane. My friend has it.
What?
And you install like these sensors in the room, and then you have the headset on. I think it's wired in, and it might be wired into the laptop. And that one, it's like a more powerful VR
That sounds incredible.
experience. But it's not like striking Vipers, which will be who knows how many years
Right.
from now.
Yeah.
But I think if you actually do have any interest in like VR, I would say the Oculus Rift would be the best bet.
Okay. Yeah. So in this episode, and I don't want to get too into it because it does get pretty sexual in a way that's like,
Yeah, for
it's not
striking
really
Vipers.
our tone on Geeking Havoc, but
Yeah.
but for the geeking part, it's fascinating because there's this tiny little box.
Mm-hmm.
He opens up this little box as a gift, a birthday gift. There's a disc that comes in like a standard, like if you were to buy like Red Dead or something
Mm-hmm.
and like give it to somebody as a gift, so that seems like that's a disc you'd put in still.
Yep.
And then there's like the little thing that you put, it's like a tiny little dot.
Sensor.
And then, the moment where you're like, you're no longer present. You're basically in like a mini coma. And then you slowly like see it sort of digitize into your new world. And then you're able to, with this piece on your temple, you start to feel all the sensations. And that's how, of course, the 2 characters as best friends start to create this like sort of dynamic they didn't expect within the world, right?
Yep.
So for me, I love the fear that people have. First, like the concept that like video games were ruining children and causing violence and blah blah blah. I'm there's a lot rooted in that. I'm not going to dismiss any of that, but like I am of the mind that there's a lot of other reasons that we're not addressing that cause violence. I mean, I lean more towards that than the video games being the problem.
There's a ton.
Yeah. So that's a whole conversation to be had. But with the VR stuff, it's like that opens a whole new box of fears, concerns, interests. I mean, and in this episode, what happens is like at first it creates a divide in this marriage.
Because he gets obsessed with going into the game and sort of, I guess, almost dating his male best friend or having like a relationship.
Yeah, a very intense, intimate relationship with his best friend. And it's very confusing for them. And they're like, wait, are we...
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
What's
like,
our sexuality now? This is weird. And it's, and it is, and it's a fascinating, if you ever wanted to look into it, it's like, there's a lot of like, it's a fascinating topic and that kind of, about sexuality and stuff. Like, it's fascinating. And again, like, that's not where we're going on this one.
Right.
But it does open up those weird worlds. And there was a girl that beat got away that she created something that she actually plays a video game with her mind. I'm not even kidding you. That she can control the character with her mind. Like she set up these sensors on her head, and then basically when she thinks of, I think either thinks of colors, like blue is like forward, and then like red is back.
Stop.
No, I'm serious. So like that is also a thing that soon that temple thing that you're talking about wouldn't. I don't know how close we are to it, but like it could be in 10 years that could be a VR that you just like plug in. Which does open scary things because people could, what if someone tries to, I guess you can't really hack someone's brain, but you kind of screw with them or something. I don't know. I mean, we're all electricity.
I don't know.
Right?
I mean, I think it's fascinating. I mean, we should pull in an expert for this.
We should. Hold on. Let me get him through the front door. He's going to come in here. And 3.
It's Mr. Rogers.
Hello, everybody.
Changes his sweater.
Yeah, you guys are talking about thermonuclear dynamics. I'm going to sit down with you for
I would feel so
neurons
good if
firing.
it,
He was the best.
Yeah. Sorry. That was me. That was my tangent. Strike.
No, that's great.
Strike one for Joe.
We just have the tangent meter.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
That can be our new edit.
Those are great.
Tangent.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, but with that, I'm fascinated with like the fact that that's not that far away.
No.
And then to
especially
be able,
with what I just told you, it's definitely not.
And now I feel like when people were upset about this concept that like, oh, these dangerous video games and stuff are like corrupting our kids. And I'm like, well, what? We're talking about AI now. We have deep fakes. We have really, we have like genuine concerns and people like running those industries that are going, yeah, we kind of should be concerned. And people are like, okay. So it's like, well, I don't think the video game stuff back in the day is going to be an actual, you know,
like a concern. Like, and it is all that craziness of like, yeah, because with deep fakes and AI will definitely help us probably evolve this VR experience and get us there faster. Because if you could train the AI to like think of like solutions, like, well, how would you do this? That's where I think AI works. But AI is weird to me when it's like you're taking over like voiceover and creativeness is where it gets like nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, I don't see any harm in like AI is like testing a video game. It's like, all right, take this. And even also video game testers was a job and is now not really a thing.
Oh, it's not? Oh.
No, I don't think so. Like quality control, like I don't think so. If it is, they're doing a terrible job. Because I was playing a game recently that I was like, it was so annoying. I was like, why would this pass anywhere? Like,
really?
Yes. It was a Star Wars game, and it just was like moments of just like if someone was playing for quality control, they would just at least 50 times during the whole experience that game would go, yeah, this isn't fun. I don't know why you guys did this. This is just a weird, this map is weird. This level, this isn't good like traversal of a level. Like this is just like wonky and weird. Like, I don't know.
And so you can't like return it.
No,
you can't take it back to GameStop.
I mean, you
like,
can, and they're
lame.
like, "We'll give you $10 for it." And you're like, "Well, I paid $65 yesterday." They're like,
"Ah,
well,
right.
You know.
Cool. Thanks.
cool. Thanks. Yeah. Hey, great job. I love
so
this
like
business.
they stopped hiring people to.
I think they did. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's a thing. Just because, like, it's just my friend Ian will always say, and this goes with the VR stuff. A lot of the VR stuff is very fun.
Yeah.
Like the VR games you play, and that's what it should be. Video games should be fun. That's it. They should be fun first, and then that should be like good story second, you know? So that's what it should be. Like The Last of Us was like very enjoyable to play, amazing story.
Yeah.
So like that works. But when you have like a dumb Star Wars game, it's like there's no reason this shouldn't be 80% fun and then your 20% hollow story.
Yeah. And if you're me, you want to at least have it be educational or have an
course.
astrological sign that can beat the shit out of you.
Yes. You want to learn. I remember how many times
I just feel like it's a great way to work in stuff. Like if there's a way to work in like medical terms or cool shit and I could like, you know, in the most basic way possible. I feel like that's like advantageous to everybody because like you'd be like weirdly having a question on your SATs and it'd be like some random like fibula tibula thing and you'd be like, I played that game, know that one, you know, because it was like fibula destroyed, you know, or whatever. I always resort back to fighting games because they're my favorite and I'm never gonna.
They are the best.
I'm never gonna stray from that, which is also why I liked Striking Vipers.
Was because it was based on
It's based on Street Fighter 2.
That's right.
Which is one of my favorite games.
Street Fighter 2 is great.
Yeah.
Also, just to let you know, we still do our SATs, me and Josephine, at least once a week. We go to a place and we see what our scores are. So
Now there are PSATs.
how fun would that be if
Yeah,
you just go
our
get SAT or PSATs?
Yeah.
Let's go see how smart we are.
I
We go do it
know.
once
And
a
it just
week.
gets lower and lower every time.
Yeah.
I lie about my score to him.
I get my name wrong.
I bring wine in a bottle. I'm like,
Cheers.
the little circles are like off to the left of this actual circle. They're like,
You're slurring your filling? You slur your filling
I use like a
skills?
pen. They're like, ma'am, you need a pen. Never mind. She's been here every day. Every day the last month.
Ma'am, why are you punching holes? You're supposed to fill the circle in. Why are you punching holes in? You're like, I don't tell you how to do your job. You don't tell me. By the way, how do you spell fibula?
It's like, but see, I would know if I played the game
It is funny.
that I made up in my head.
You did. So you really enjoyed. Did you know that? Speaking of the Street Fighter, they made a new one. Street Fighter 6 just came out.
Oh shit! I can't wait.
really
Can I
fun.
put the thing on
Yes, you can. Yeah.
and have an intimate relationship with my best friend?
Yes, you
Because
can.
that's the goal.
That's the whole point. Is for Oculus Rift. You could put it on. It'd be so neat. But it would be a neat. Yeah. So Street Fighter, they have the new one. So you enjoyed Street Fighter 2, which is what it was based on.
Yeah,
Street
yeah.
Fighter 2 was very good.
I just played Street Fighter 2 at Barcade the other night as well.
Barcade in
Manhattan.
Manhattan?
And the East Village.
Do they have Street Fighter 2?
Yeah, they do, and they have Mortal Kombat X.
They have MKX there?
Yeah.
No way.
And
Oh my
there's like
God.
Donkey Kong game that was not making any sense
Not
to me.
fun. Is the Street Fighter the movie video game still there?
No, I would have played it if it was.
Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that at a different
Terrible.
Barcade. Yeah, I don't know.
so bad.
I like it when I win.
Oh, of course, but it's terrible.
If I lose, I'm like, oh, that game sucked.
There was one time in Barcade that I was playing a terrible. I forgot what the game was called. It's like I think it's called Hologram, and it's this giant video game. And it's I don't know how you play it. It's unplayable. I think you have to like you ever play Dragon's Lair?
No.
So Dragon's Lair was like this stupid game that when you played it, it would have cutscenes. So like if a dragon threw a knife at you, you would like hit the left direction and then you'd dodge. But the timing was so specific that like you would just die over and over. It was the worst. Fight me if you think it's a good game. It's the worst game on earth. It's not even a game. It's a piece of garbage. So this stupid hologram.
We're gonna get like canceled from all
Probably,
these
yeah,
video game
yeah.
companies.
The guy who runs Dragon's Lair was going to
Yeah.
send us a copy to play, and he goes, "Oh!" He gets sad when he hears me go.
He's gonna
I
be-
hate it.
One of the 5 people that watches this.
Yeah. Oh, I want to send him a copy, but I guess he hates the game, and Joe doesn't have a system on. Oh shucks, guys, never mind.
Yeah. Joe only plays Street Fighter 2.
And Mortal Kombat.
Why is his voice like this?
I don't know. That's like the developer. They go, "Hey guys, we got a podcast that was mentioned Dragon Slayer. We got
true.
Sam's game." And so it was a game called Hologram, and it's stupid. It's a giant machine. It's garbage. And there was some like tall hipster dude standing next to the game, and I was there with my friend Jason. And I put a quarter in, and I die. And I put another quarter in. It's like you couldn't. I don't know what you're supposed to do. There's no directions. It's one of the worst. So I was like, this game sucks. And this stranger, number one, this is why tall people need to we need to just break their ankles.
We need to. Oh, I thought you were including yourself. I was like,
Oh, no. No.
Sorry. No.
So,
Go back.
no. Me and Joe are very small people. The fact that this dude was like maybe 6'2", then he looked at me and goes, "I think you suck." And I was just like,
No way.
"What'd you say to me, dude?" Like in Barcade. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
And then that was it. He didn't say. Then I kept kind of like, talking like smack to him until like,
No
just
way.
dissipated. But it was like the balls you have as a tall person to be like, "I think you suck," just because I'm 5'6". That, you're like, "All right, man, what if I'm nuts? Like, I'm short. What if I'm crazy?"
Yeah, Napoleon had a whole thing.
Yes, of course
Yeah.
it was. What if I was not? What if I had a little like one of those small baseball bats that you get at like Bat Day, and I put it on the back of my pocket and cracked your hand?
Yeah.
Insane.
I wasn't thinking you'd do that with it.
What did you think I would do?
There's a
Have
lot
him
of other
sign it?
threats you could have him sign it.
Yeah.
I know we're going to keep it PG today, but it wasn't what I was thinking that he'd do with that bat.
No, find him when he's in the stall. I'm like, "Hey man, just trip him
In
and
the stall?
Yeah, shove it up his butt." Is that what you mean?
Oh my God, it took you that long?
It did take me that long. I'm so sorry. I got a bad score on my PSATs, and that's why it did. So now, speaking of VR, now I don't know. This is now, I guess, we can't really touch on it, but there is the inevitability of the virtual stuff that there is adult entertainment that people use.
Oh
it for
my
as
God,
well.
come on. Everybody knows this. And
Everyone
everybody's
knows
like
this.
known, like there's these worlds out there where this is the other thing. People take on different identities. People get to sort of live in a world where they don't feel oppressed by, for whatever, things by society, which we all know are very real, very intense, and can be very difficult for everybody, regardless of, whatever. Because it's personal. Your own personal experience is what you're going through.
Yeah.
So having that freedom to go explore another world where you don't feel like you're having to deal with that stress or pressure.
Yeah, it's different.
You get to live out the life that you kind of want to. And in the sense where you get to be the version of yourself that you would like to be.
Yeah. And I also think that those VR adult games that you would play or whatever are definitely for someone who's single, because you can't have that on and you're just in your, you think your wife went out to work and then she comes home and you're just in a chair going,
But that's the thing is like how that episode was such a great reference to that. It's like how is this tricky? How do we address this? How do we have how do you stay in a relationship when you have other online relationships going on? Yeah. Which is funny to me because like as much as it's frustrating that gaming has seemed to lean like traditionally in that male direction, but it's funny to think like a lot of guys like want to game because they can stay up all night talking to their boys on the phone, basically.
Basically, yeah.
And it's like, and I want men to connect and communicate more than anybody. Trust me.
Of all people,
it's hard on guys. Like, you're not, it's not something that's encouraged. It's and that's one of the probably the most detrimental things to take away from human beings, regardless of gender. Yep. Like you should be able to talk about your feelings, talk about what's going on, and not feel like that's, not masculine behavior. That's ridiculous.
Like you're a wuss if you cry or you're like, I don't know, I feel sad today.
Come on.
Yeah.
So with that, there is the sense of like, oh, that's a safe place in terms of like VR relationships. But no, we have, and I want to encourage everybody to be gaming, but like, how do we focus on these other worlds that we're living in? And how do you limit, you don't have parental controls for parents for, what I mean?
Oh yeah, you don't. And also, I don't know if you're as familiar of like, and it's 90%, I don't know. I've talked about this for years on Unlimited Lives. Like, and it's like, maybe not 90, 80% of gaming is like just toxic psycho maniacs. Yeah. So it's like,
because that's the fun of it half the time.
That's you
mean the players?
Yeah, the players.
Oh, he's talking about you guys.
I'm not. I'm just some other
JK.
Some listeners like, oh, I was gonna send him a fun thank you card, but now he says I'm just a racist. So
no. I think we can speak generally that typically gamers are the most amazing people ever, but there's a lot of dark stuff out there regardless.
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah. And I know friends that were like female gamers that just purposely will not put a headset on and be like, I'm not going to.
For sure.
Like, I'll play, I'm not going to talk because, the second you talk, it's just, and it depends on the game you're playing. So we'll say this to kind of relieve. I'm not aware of the Rockstar area of like online gaming. Mm-mm. So I'm not talking about that. I'm specifically what I'm talking about in this sense of like toxic gamer stuff is like Call of Duty is the epitome. It's in my opinion of just like bleh, that I have friends that are girls that are like, I don't talk because if I do, it's just
well, they have nothing. They don't have to hide behind anything because they're already hidden.
No, and imagine if you're playing a VR game where one of these maniacs can walk up and like virtually punch you. And then if it's set up that you get like a hit, I mean, do you imagine getting your ass beat in VR by some like 12-year-old that's just angry, that just walks up and yeah. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, imagine if we had like free therapy in this country.
What? Ew, why would we ever want that?
We probably would all be gaming and be like, oh, sorry, that hurt, but I need to win.
Yeah. I just want you to know that you're seen, but I need to win.
That was my character on Pokemon, Shauna. She was like, I don't know, I love you all, but I really want to win. So, and like,
oh, that's great.
But sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. It's just like, imagine like, now you can... You're not, with striking vipers, it's like you could feel it. You could feel the, any kind of hits, any kind of stuff. So that kind of, I mean, if that was a real game, like I've played Street Fighter Online and Mortal Kombat where I've played someone that within minutes, I am demolished. Like, and the fact that I'd put like one of these in, and I suck at video games, and like to go and all right, I'm going to play Striking Vipers now, and then just go in it and then just basically have like pulmonary heart attack because I'm just getting beat over and over. I'm like, that'd be horrible.
That's where the episode, the writing didn't. I mean, I think the writing is phenomenal. Do not get me wrong, but the writing sort of didn't line up for me with that, because if we're gonna have this intensity of this physical connection in a positive way versus having the same sensations in the negative way, because like the whole concept is like you can feel the punches, right? You can't actually feel like if somebody's gonna body slam you face first, like flipping you over with their legs, and they're like, ah, and you're like, and your face shatters and your teeth fly everywhere. You're not actually feeling that.
You're not, but I guess, but if you could convince your brain, like your pain sensors in your brain, to go, your back will hurt now because you've been hit, maybe.
Or I guess like...
Wouldn't that be kind of like it?
Well, if we're already reaching to that point, right?
Yeah.
To believe that this is possible, which I'm sure at some point it will be, then yes, we go with it. But it is a little bit tricky to think about, like, I could pinch you right now and be like, ow, that hurts. If I punched you in the face, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that'd be bad.
The kick thing?
Yeah.
Or she kicks him for like 100 times, you'd be dead.
You would be dead, yeah.
So,
you'd have a concussion.
Like, so for me, I think what the whole episode was more about was like this desperate need for intimacy, and I want to make the reach amongst men, but I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's like this moment of like when friends need to connect more, because I don't necessarily think it's about, I mean, they do talk about how like, the intimate part was like so intense and they couldn't find that anywhere else, like even in their own relationships and whatever. But if that's the case, like if that was so intense, how was it so intense? Is the game rigged so that the physical stuff that's positive is actually that intense? Or anyway, I'm just saying that's a note for Charlie Brooker. Just like I have notes. Okay?
Charlie's home. He's like, well, I was going to send her a new episode of Black Mirror, but
I was going to cast her.
I was going to cast her in Black Mirror.
Call my people, Charlie. I have questions.
So cool. I'm so jealous you have people.
You have people too. They roll their eyes at you, but you have people.
They do.
Yeah.
I know they do. I call them, they go, who? And I go, I'm sorry. Capri
You're
Sun.
like, that's them. They love me.
God, they're so funny.
There they go again.
They're so funny. I have to slide my old headshot when I started there when I was 21.
In black and white.
Yeah, it was black and white with weird hair and
You
a dumb
signed
face.
it yourself.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's me. Do you remember it's me? Do you guys remember?
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, so that's fun. Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah, is it that kind of thing? And it also takes gaming to that, being like my fiance doesn't game. Well, she does a little bit, but she doesn't game where it's like only Harry Potter we played, and that was when it was annoying when and it kind of was adorable seeing her get lost for like 3 hours, where I would leave, go do something, come back like 3 hours, and she's still playing it. And I'm like, all right, now it's my turn. All right. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah. It was like, it's cute and it was fun. But then like when I actually was like, no, I want to get off the game. Like then it was like,
yeah,
I want to play.
So she really got into it.
Yeah, she really got into it. Yeah, she did. And I think the other thing was as someone who playing video games, to see someone struggle with something, because the game is, of course, it's a behind the back. So you're following your person. So it's esoteric. So it's like, I think that's what it's called. So it's behind the back, and it's just like Red Dead. Like you spin the camera and you get to see stuff. And it, as you're playing, if you use both thumbs, forward, back, strafe, left and right, and then move the camera. And when you're not used to that, it is a hard, jarring thing. Yeah. Like when I first played Halo, it was weird to hold the controller and have to control both thumbs into like, this is forward, and now I'm looking around with this. Like it was weird. So, I'm trying to give her a pass for that, but it was like, there was a lot of like, there was a lot of me going like this. Do you want me to just to do it? Do you want me to do it? Do you want me just to do it? Do you want me to do it? Like you got to turn the camera,
Interesting. And the Leos are the controlling ones.
I know. And it was me Gemini I was just like, turn the camera, turn left,
dude,
spin left, up, there, up. Yeah, you got it. And it just was like, and even the things that gaming, as long as I have, seeing the tropes of what they do. Like they didn't break boundaries in the Harry Potter game. They did things that were tropes of other, like every game takes from every game. But it was interesting to know she'd be like, I don't know what to do here. And I'd just be like, well, they've done this in the other games. You want to pull the boulder and you want to roll it down the hill and, like that.
I love that. Every game takes from every game. It's so interesting.
It's
is.
Like, well, just like novels, it's like movies. I mean, it all does.
Yeah. I mean, how do you stand on the shoulders of giants, right?
Yeah. That was very prolific. I didn't know what to do. It was a very powerful quote.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, with viewers like you.
Wait, okay, so.
Yes.
So with that, with the Striking Vipers convo.
Yeah. Which is wonderful. This is.
Really?
This was great.
Everybody go out. If you're a fan of anything, especially Red Dead 2. Go watch that episode. It's so freaking cool.
It is
so
cool.
good.
The whole series is great. If you never watched it, you should.
The ending is so good too. They always find a way to like.
How did it? So here, how did it end? Because I would like to talk about how it ended, and then we'll say for anyone listening.
Yeah, spoiler. Yeah.
So if you don't know
how it ends,
you know. If you don't know that how it ends, just you stand on the shoulders of giants. So don't listen. Okay, and now the ending. All right, tell me how it ends, because I did forget.
Okay, so it's really, the best part is that the two friends finally confront each other, and they're like in the street, and they're like, well, we gotta kiss. We gotta see if this is like a real thing. Yeah. And they do, and they're like, nope. And they both genuinely are like, okay, so we're not dealing with something other than what's in that game, what's happening in that VR moment with us. So then, but at the same time, we've got a wife in the situation going, what's going on? Where have you been this whole time? So Anthony Mackie tells his wife, I forget her name, she's fucking freaking gorgeous and amazing and talented as all get out. But you see the scene's perfect because he goes, we already know the story. So he goes to say it, and then we cut to another scene. Mm-hmm. And then basically the end of the episode, we figured out he's told her, and we see them. They have another birthday party. It circles back to the first scene, opening scene, or one of the opening scenes from a birthday party, which is perfect in terms of arc. And then they gift each other. He gifts her a gift. She gifts him a gift, and she gifts him the little piece that goes on your temple for the game, saying, "I'm gonna give you this to be able to basically have your moment with your friend."
Yeah.
And then he gifts her, I guess, a box or something. He gives her something, but you see her taking off her wedding ring, so she gets to go out and do her own thing.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, it took me a while to get there. And he's putting on the thing to be, and it's every day every month on the 14th that they get to have one day out of the month where she goes out and flirts with other guys. And he gets to have intimate relations with his best friend.
I forgot how that one ended.
But it sounds weird when I say it now, but it felt so heartwarming watching it, because you're like, but that's why it's interesting. We're living in a new phase of realities where we're like, okay, what is off limits? What's not? How do we make this work? And that episode for me was like, this is a modern way of discussing how we can make some of those situations work. Yep. Even if they're not exactly the way that story was told, there's going to be other situations, right? Where you're like, freaking hell, like you're playing video games all night long, or you do have an addiction to this, or whatever it is. Like there's other ways to get wrapped up into those virtual experiences. And other ways to get wrapped up in our own our realities as well. So I felt like the balance at the end of the episode was really good. I mean, not that I should be telling the writers what to do, but I'm sure the writers table is like, shut up. We know we're amazing.
Why don't you talk to the producers who wouldn't let us do what you're saying we did?
Right? That's so funny.
I forgot that's how it ended.
Yeah, it's funny how like what's memorable about things is not necessarily the tying of the bow on the end.
Yeah. I mean, it should have been. I do remember that now that it was, and it was a thing of like, chemically it wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like that the attraction in person for the two friends wasn't there. Chemically, meaning the I guess the testosterone, like however they would, however that works, like however attraction works. it didn't work. So it didn't make sense for that. But I forgot that she took her wedding ring off, and then she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the bowling alley and pick up
The bowling alley.
some heavy men." Like, you mean like I forgot that's
Yeah.
that's what he did, and then he went and met up and did that. But it would have been just that you can't. Now that we talk about it, I'm gonna go back and watch it again because I haven't seen it in a bit. But I do remember, that was a very.
Yeah.
I forgot that's how it ended. That she was like, "All right, my turn."
I think it was like pretty understanding of her. She could have been
great.
like, "Look, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. You're telling me you're having this whole relationship with your best friend that is like a whole nother level, and I was feeling completely dismissed, thinking you didn't want me. I mean, I'm over here bearing your children, and I've spent 11 years. I think they had been together or something. I did a deep dive." For you, baby.
I think so. Thank you very much. That's great. Yeah, I forgot about that. It is a weird. I think when that comes down to it, that will open the doors. Some people do get. I'm trying to think if I had experience. I don't think I've ever had jealousy. I don't think I've ever had a person I dated be jealous of games. Like, I don't think I've ever heard I've heard like spending time makes sense. Like, I want to spend more time with you. Stop playing that.
Yeah.
That game. Like, I know that's been there. Not as much, but it would be interesting when it gets to the point that if you do fall for something like that, and then you have to explain, it's just the weirdness. Like, well, I kind of fell, I fell for this, again, and if it is like, being his like male best friend, was a good take on it. But if it was like a woman like that, then it's like, I mean, that would be like, then is that cheating? Because because it's a game. Because then if someone thinks, because then I dated people that thought if you looked at like pornography, that was cheating. So then you'd have like those people obviously would be like, oh, you're cheating. But then people that are okay with porn, would they be like, well, I guess it still would be cheating. It's it's another person.
Yeah, anything that takes away from, I think, your intimate and sexual connection with your partner, it's going to cause you to pull away or be distracted or be too tired or whatever. Like, if that energy is going in another direction, for me, I consider that cheating.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a tough pill to swallow, they say.
It sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, because we're programmed to, like, and as all genders, to survive. Yeah. So oftentimes, like, the way that we connect with people can feel intimate and maybe naturally is supposed to feel that way, but it's like, okay, but that's why we have this concept of commitment and loyalty, and and it's not always supposed to be easy. And you know, if it is easy, then great. I that's even better. But I feel like it's kind of silly to tell people it should be easy. You're supposed to be in love. It's supposed to be this way. It's like, come on, this is life. And if you want to commit for a long time, like, but that's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole other conversation.
If I keep leaning in, I'm going to really wear this mic. He's like, leave me alone. Back the fuck up.
This poor microphone.
I know. He's like, you want to talk about intimacy? You're a little bit on my...
So is there anything else that on Striking Vipers you want to touch on before we...
I just want to bring up this is the fact that neither one of them had gaming chairs, which is what I want to talk about next. They were not sitting in these like very cool Batman looking chairs or whatever, which I think, and I don't know anybody, the 7 people watching, if they know that I'm very into interior design. So, like, for me, the gaming chairs are fascinating. Yeah. Like, I think they're hilarious and cool and, like, functional and just, all over the place.
Well, there's also ones that do, like, have speakers built in. As I throw on, I'm, like, trying to fight a... You ever try to fight a burp? I'm trying to fight a burp.
I know, you didn't even stop talking.
I know, I'm just very professional, so I want to get my point out. So I was actually trying to...
That's how I would describe us.
Yeah, I was trying to fight a burp back to let it get going. It just got caught up. So, it's... Anyway, so the... That's so funny. Anyway, I have a... I apologize. I have Yeah, I have a gaming chair, but it was like $60 on Amazon. It wasn't. But I have
So you
friends that are-
justified it, like, first of all, you felt guilty. Then you justified it by explaining the price.
Yeah, I'm like, it was only $60. Well, it's just, like I use it for when I'm recording at home. I don't really game in it too much. I feel like computer chairs are good for PC gaming. And I find with console gaming, which is what I usually do, even a couch, even on the couch, it's not, I don't know. I used to game in like a Lazy Boy, and that was boss. Was like, laying back in the Lazy Boy. But those gaming chairs can get crazy with speakers built in. They could run like $400. Like, they're nuts. They have ones that are like sweat proof and like yeah, it's gross, and cushioned and like, mine was, like I said, like a 60. It wasn't too crazy. It was like $60. I got to get a new one soon anyway, but I'll wait. But even then, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna drop anything crazier. You're not sitting in it and I'm also not in it for hours.
I don't think there's any judgment coming from where I'm curious about. Hey guys, there's construction going on. I don't know if you can hear that.
First, there was the Canadian wildfire, construction.
Now there's the submarine and my next door neighbors.
It's Titanic and the next door neighbors. Yeah. It's a whole thing.
But for me, it's not coming from a place of judgment about the gaming chairs. It's more interest because I think there's going to be a lot more of that. And like, as not only fashion is changing with all sorts of like, anime stuff happening with like being prints all over the place. And like, I'm, even going to this Tombstone Redemption thing, like I'm thinking about making t-shirts that, I can, as long as I don't, breach any contracts with Red Dead, but but so with the gaming chair stuff, I'm like, there's gonna be more furniture. There's gonna be more, stuff happening with that.
Yeah, and then when is that convention? Just so people.
The Tombstone Redemption is happening July 29th and 30th, and I'm so excited. We're gonna ride horses. I'm gonna steal one. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding. I'm gonna try to.
Allegedly, everyone. Allegedly.
And then we're gonna have like these. What are they called? Zip lines where you have like laser guns, and you can like be outlaws and
That rules. Where is this? In Texas?
It's in Tombstone, Arizona.
Oh, Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So t-shirts is a venture that you want to look into? Have you ever done stuff like this?
Not really. I want to do more stuff because I go to conventions and stuff, but I luckily I have great people that handle that stuff for me in terms of like merch and whatever. Really good. Yeah. I love the people that I work with. But this time this came through me. Mm-hmm. It didn't come through the peeps.
This convention you got.
Yeah, it didn't come through the people that do that stuff. So I'm sort of on my own. I thought about like making flasks. That'd be like I could draw my own Karen
That'd be
Jones
awesome.
Something.
Flask would be really cool. I'm trying to think of what other cool Western stuff. Flask would be cool. Shot glasses. If you do a shot glass with a saying on it, might be fun.
Yeah, I
would do that. Yeah,
that was my second idea. But then I was like,
I think of what merch sells at cons when I used to go.
I don't want it to be anything too expensive, or anything too big because people are traveling. And
yeah, I think it's a good idea. Like shot glasses or flask is a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm so tight with so much of the cast. I mean, all of the cast, but especially with we call ourselves the Camp Girls. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to do something with them, but it's, time's ticking. You got to get that stuff in. You got to get it printed up and done and whatever. But
shipped.
Yeah. I could just
to the hotel.
Buy a bunch of gaming chairs for $60 on Amazon. Have them all shipped to Tombstone, Arizona.
Oh my God. Hi, there's a U-Haul
they
full
would
of
probably
chairs.
Freaking sell. Oh my God.
Of course they would sell, but you imagine trying to fly that home. You're like, hi, locals only.
Oh, they just ship it in a box. I'd be like...
It does ship in a box.
Yeah.
You are right about that. Yeah. Then you can autograph the seat.
I'd have to open it up,
rebox
it. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah,
take a picture of the signature.
Yeah, just do that.
I'm so nice, too. Like, I'll tell people if they ask for cameos, I'll make sure they have my Insta and they can DM me and I'll respond and talk to them.
Are you on Cameo, speaking of?
Yeah.
That's great.
I've been very, very fortunate. I get some cameos pretty frequently and I get to talk to people that, I don't know, they probably made me happier than I've made them. It's
that's
really
great.
Nice. Yeah, it feels
that's
amazing.
Really fun.
Yeah,
cameos are great.
Yeah, man.
So that's good. Yeah, that sounds like a super fun con. Film as much as possible.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. The fact you get to ride horses and then shoot lasers. It's going to be crazy.
And we get like a chance to see each other as the cast. Like,
yeah.
what?
You've all met before in person?
For the most part, yeah, because we have a pretty tight gang. You know, we would be
posse?
together. Yeah, possum. Oh, possum. That makes sense, right?
All this and more, July 29th.
Yeah, I went from like quoting Newton to like.
We stand on the shoulders of giants. Possum.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, but it's fine. This is the range you have. And the range you must cherish.
Oh, God, it probably wasn't Newton, though.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask
me. Yeah, it's not a PSAT.
Still drunk at the PSATs.
Trust me. I was in resource room as a child. I was not a smart child. I didn't. Nope. I was a C student, if at all. I mean,
really?
Oh, yes.
That means you're cool then.
That is true.
I was a fucking nerd.
Yeah, I was bad. I'd rather draw. I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, that's because you're cool.
It is because I'm cool. Thank you.
Well, it's true.
It is cool. That noise you're hearing is a juicer next to me. I'm making a bunch of juices.
Manhattan.
Man, what are you going to do? So that's really fun. I'm excited for you to go to that. It's great.
Thanks, man.
And then how are you going to get there? You're going to fly?
Yeah, they're flying us out. They're picking us up. They're doing the whole
great.
damn thing. I'm excited. Yeah.
So
and
fun.
you're going to have to be so annoyed with me on the Insta.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Just save all the videos and send them. Like on your
To
phone.
you directly.
Send them to me directly, and then I will go, that one's fine. Do it. That one's fine. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. That one's fine.
That
do
one's
it.
fine with
That
me.
one's fine. And you could also, and then, yeah, do you have anything else before?
I mean, I'm looking over my notes here.
Look over those
and,
notes.
I do have some callbacks from the last, session we had.
My part two?
They're funny things that I forgot to mention, so we're going to bring those up next time.
Oh.
Because I need attention.
Yeah, this was so fun. And you could find Geeking Havoc Pod and Geeking Havoc Podcast. You can find it on Instagram, TikTok. I have to make a YouTube.
What?
I know it sounds insane, but I think besides audio, I think YouTube is a large platform for podcasting, which is crazy.
Well, let's freaking do it. I mean,
know.
let's let you do it.
Yeah, so I got to make that, and then it'll be so fun. Joe, do you have anything else you want to plug besides when's that con?
July 29th and 30th in Tombstone, Arizona.
Tombstone, Arizona, just like the pizza. Tombstone. What do you want on your tombstone? Pepperoni? Peppers. Sausage. This podcast brought to you by Tombstone Pizza. Tombstone. Bang, bang.
Please cut on that. What do you want on your tombstone? Most people just write rest in peace or something.
No, you want on your pizza. Tombstone Pizza.
No, but it's so funny. What do you want on your tombstone?
You can follow me at TJ Del Reno all on social media if you're bored. And you could, just subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everyone. Go see Joe in Arizona and come see me in upstate New York. I won't tell you where. I don't want you to kill me. Just kidding. Please come kill me. Please. Very fun.
Very fun.
Very fun.
Bye.
Bye.